All right, mic check.
Working.
Working.
All
Both
right,
ends.
people. I apologize. We don't know what's going on. Like I was saying earlier, I apologize. We ain't done a show. I started a new job. Things are crazy right now. So we will get back on schedule. We're just
It's
trying to
all
figure out my schedule.
it's all good. Again, the cool thing is they're getting real life shit from right. It's irritating. You got to hear
We
her.
see this old bastard get irritated real
Oh, yeah,
fast. Oh, yeah.
I know him. He's like that guy's doing because again, folks, right, I had my phone or my laptop worked on. And it was working beautifully, and then I turned it on. It's not working. Whatever. So I'm still from the phone, but Tuesday I'm supposed to get my laptop fixed again, and hopefully we can start weaseling these bugs out. But our goal is to go Rumble Studio, and we're not going to be doing Restream right now. For those of you that might care or whatever, we're using Restream software. Not that it's bad, but we're going to go to Rumble as fast as we can.
Yes, we're going to be strictly Rumble.
Mainly because of the First Amendment.
Yes.
The people that own and control Rumble are not the other people that have kicked me and kicked Mike from Patriot Hour, and we don't want to deal with that. So we're learning as we go, but we're making some mistakes. So it looks pathetic right now, but it's going to get better.
It's going to get real better.
Anyhow, it's been a week, 7, 8, 9 days since we've been on.
Whole lot of crap is going on.
Yeah, biggest one of these protests, which that I ain't got much to say other than, well, I'll have a lot to say if somebody works me up. But I knew they were coming. We all knew they were coming. But after you watch some of this, the TikTokers and everybody, these these protesters sound like a bunch of 12-year-old kids that were told no, they can't go do this or they can't have a new Xbox. They're throwing a temper tantrum, and you see some of these lefty, even the national news, saying, "Oh, they got a point. They're trying to force Trump to resign." If that's their point that they're trying to get across, he ain't resigning, y'all. I don't. This just looks silly, and I'm embarrassed.
Well, there's 7 million, supposedly 7 million protesters this weekend. Well, you know what? That's across the world, I do believe, not just the United States. And if y'all think you're going to change something, and I've heard some TikTokers, well, guess what? Our voices are starting to be heard. Well, you just need like 69 million more people to follow along with you before you make a change. Because the
Right?
majority is sitting there watching college football, kick back, drinking on the weekend, watching NASCAR, doing whatever.
Why? Because those are things that are important
Okay,
to,
well, yeah.
to them.
Stupid idiots.
I
Stupid.
I literally seen somebody say pretty much what you were trying to say. We're gaining momentum. We're gonna Trump's gonna resign.
Yeah.
I okay, but
Whatever.
there's no kings, and I love. There was one guy I was following last night, and he did a good job. He probably got beat up. I don't know, but he kept asking the right question. He's like, so when did Trump say he was a king or gonna be a king? And what are you mad about Trump right now? And he went, deer headlights, which tells you these are paid protesters, and that's my biggest point through this whole thing. Other than you're all making us look weak. Right? There's people around the world going, Jesus Christ, what are you Americans doing? We all see it, but why in the world would anybody go protest and not know what they're protesting unless they were just paid? And that's what this one guy was doing. And I'm sure a lot of you have heard. I'm sure you've seen where they asked that tough question. They're like, I don't really know why I'm here other than I got paid $500. And then my next question would be, then didn't I just see you in Portland last week on video? And I'm in Chicago, and next week you'll probably be in DC or New York. You know what I'm saying? This is so bullshit. This is what's blowing my mind. They think they're getting traction Trump's going to resign. Trump's going to resign. We need more people. You, like Hurt said, you need a shit ton more people. And Trump is not resigning. We're not at that point where Trump thinks this ain't Watergate. Trump hasn't even mentioned the word, investigation or resigning, or you're all just full of it's mind boggling. It's just fucking mind boggling.
They're having their little dreams, little fairy tale dreams, thinking something's going to happen, but it's not. Nothing's going to happen. They're not going to get their way. They're just showing how stupid they are. That's to
Well,
me.
look,
I'm sorry. I don't mean to call people ignorant, but he's not a king. He's the president of the United States. He never tried to be a king.
I'm with you on that, and that's I got booted off 4 shows last night. Can you believe that?
I'd be booted off every one I got into. It's just I quit even trying to go on that stuff because
hey, I'm ignorant, so I just doing it. These people say, "Come on, show and tell me why he isn't a king." I'm like, okay. And 3 out of the 4 let me on right away and let me speak for a little bit. The 4th one was absolutely horrible. But the first 3 let me come on there. I'm like, first of all, why don't you tell me why you think he's a king? I mean, this is just made up propaganda bullshit. This is exactly what Adolf Hitler did. You want to convince people of a lie, you keep telling it, and then you control the media.
Right.
And at what point are one of you going to tell me, either hosts or the people commenting in your room chats, what is he doing or what has he said that makes you believe that he thinks he's a king, is a king, or going to be a king? I see no evidence of it.
There's not. It's goes back to everything else that we've seen. They try to charge them. They try to get them knocked out. They took them to court. They sued them. They charged them. They did this. They did that. Didn't accomplish a damn thing. The man still got elected as president. And all they're doing, they're doubling down on stupidity. That's all they're doing. It didn't work the first time. So you really think it's going to work again? Or I hear people running in Houston. Yes, I'm from Texas. I hear on the Houston news, let's go against Trump. Let's go against Trump. You dumb son of a gun.
Why?
You just lost on that. Why you mention that? Why don't you tell me what you can do for me? But no, it's all Trump. Trump lives in their head for free. For free.
Oh, he's dancing in there. So there's a movie called Inglorious Bastards, right? So
Yep.
I say the same thing, Inglorious Decisions or Inglorious. When Hurt says that's one thing David and Scott show's always going to give you is these sons of guns are doubling down on dumb, right? Here's our new idea. We're gonna try to tell you he's a rapist. This was years ago, right? And now we're going to protest, and we're protesting because he said he's a king and he thinks he's a king, and that's the slogan of these protests, right? No King's Day. And you and me and our families and friends and the rest of us are looking at this going, I don't see a TikTok, a YouTube. I don't see a C-SPAN. I don't see a Oval Office. I don't see a media. I don't see any proof of their title. Right? They might as well call it the Mickey Mouse protest. Because I don't know what the F you're talking about.
No. Zero. It's fun. It's fun watching. Rent free, baby. Rent free.
This guy rant free. This guy last night interviewed this kid, and he says, "So, when did Trump say he was going to be a king?" Well, he's well, and he started. He's like, "Well, you got there." Well, but he's portrayed as a king by whom? Well, the right media. Okay, how? Well, you know what? You got me there too. But there are people out there saying he should be president for a 3rd term, and that's the only time you're going to get me convinced to go. Okay, I'm listening. I wish And I hope that Trump could be a third term, but he won't be because that takes what? Supermajority. Well, supermajority is also what it takes to get a damn health care, or not health care, I'm sorry, budget to open up the government, and we can't even get that. So let's not talk about dumb shit. If we can't even open up the government, there is zero chance 60 senators, meaning 6 to 7 Democrats, are going to vote for King Trump, right? A third term. So until you can prove all of this, y'all sound stupid. Y'all look ignorant. I'm sure you take your socks and shoes off to count 20. And I feel sorry for you, but that's why I know you're all paid. You're paid.
Look at all the paid ones on TikTok. Oh, look at the Republicans. They're so stupid they don't even know how the government runs. They own the government and they still can't open the government.
Right.
You stupid idiots. You don't know. You don't know. I'm just sorry, you don't know. You're dumb.
So without being hypocritical, because what I'm about to say is what David and I are right now. We're growing the show. We just started. But we said this once before, and I caught myself one night, and the next morning I talked to David. I'm like, oh my God, I was brought on as a guest, like David has been, and maybe some of y'all. And they ask me a question, and then they mute me, and then they let me talk for 3 seconds, and then they mute me, and blah, blah. And I looked up in the right hand corner, and David knows what I'm about to say. I'm like, okay, I get what y'all are doing. You got 3 live followers, you got 1 like, you don't even have 1,000 subscribers. You're paid, right?
Right.
Now, we fall in that category with the statistics that I just said. But come Christmas, if David and I still only have 1 or 2 people watching or 14, I'm out of here, right? But these people are speaking what they call truths, right? These people sound like they're important, and no, they're paid. The only reason they do it is one of 2 reasons: they're sick in the head, but they're definitely getting paid, or both.
You know, I might not be right about everything I say, but the difference between me and them is I'll listen. If you can show me facts, if you can show me something, I can change my mind.
Right.
But until you do, quit out of spouting.
Yep.
Yep, exactly. I'm not gonna listen to it. You know, and it's funny. We'll invite people in here. If you want to debate us, come on in here. If you're respectful.
David will boot you before me because I want to debate into the point to where I do want to kick you, which means I'm going to all the time in the world.
Unlike, but if you ain't respectful, I'll boot your ass so fast, make your head spin. It's this way it's going to be. This old man don't play. No. I ain't going to play with you. I'm not.
And say an old man, just say old Marine.
Old grumpy ass Marine.
Old grumpy ass. I took this son of a gun. My son got promoted, and I said, David, can I fly you out to Pendleton with me? And he goes, absolutely. What's up? I said, well, they're going to allow me to help promote. I don't know what that meant. David did his best to tell me. But I was going out there because my son was getting a promotion. And he's like, yep. And we get out there, and right away, Hurt, as y'all, those of you that know, that's what I call. We get on Pendleton base, and he says, what in the F is going on around? There's weeds growing up. There's fence lines that are broken down. There's shit and debris laying in empty parking lots. And he goes, oh my God, this is not my Marine Corps. And as soon as we get to my son, I'm standing there. Imagine walking on a military base, and then we're just standing 10, 15 feet away, and I'm watching my son's morning duties, right? How he presents himself, how he's that part of the military is still good, but Hurt just couldn't believe. And I'm like, there's no way this is a military base. And Hurt's like, this is a shithole. Like, and we found out that it's the transgender movement, it was COVID, it was the liberal ideals, it's this, it's that.
It ain't about job proficiency, learning your job, getting your job done, doing the best you can do in life. Watch what you say to somebody so you don't upset them.
Correct. And there we are.
Marine Corps.
We're sitting on where, let me say it like this. We're sitting on a military base that happens to be a Marine base, which happens to have the 1st Marine Division and also the 2-7, right? Honoriest Marines in history. Am I wrong, Ert?
No, you're right about that one. That's who I belong to, 2-7.
And their yard, right? Your yard, my yard, but their yard is cluttered, filthy, overgrown, and looks like crap. And that's my first impression. And I thought there's got to be something going on because I'm a historian. I'm a military guy. I'm a proud American. Ed Hurt's like, oh, no, 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 no. 30 years ago, this effing place was spotless. There was no cracks in the road, no weeds growing. But my first impression, I was excited to be there. And then all of a sudden, I'm like, well, this is like Iraq. There
You
was
know,
no.
I when we I went to join the military back in the day. I ain't gonna tell you how many years ago, but a long damn time ago. My first job was a janitor. I was a janitor first, then I was a fighter. Because if my barracks wasn't clean, if the grounds weren't kept clean, you're done. There was no leave, there was no off time. You kept, when you keep something clean, when you pick up after yourself, when you present yourself, it's all for a purpose. It's all for a reason.
Makes your next task easier.
It's you take pride in what you do, no matter what it is. I don't care if you're a janitor at a school, a truck driver, an engineer. You take pride in what you do, and that'll bring you so far in life. And that's what the military teaches you.
So
Most things.
real quick, we're going to get real good at this real soon. We got Mike. I can see he's in the message right now. We're going to learn how to copy and paste links, but Hurt and I are not using. Mike's a real good producer. Anytime I say something in studio, he's like, "Oh, I'll bring that up." What I wanted to bring up, but we can't do it right at this moment because Hurt and I are just ignorant.
Ignorant.
If y'all Google the Navy SEAL, I think it was Lieutenant Colonel. It's an awesome YouTube one, and my kids watch it. I watch it. I play it for my employees. The 10 things to do every day, right? And the first thing you wake up from this Navy SEAL is you make your bed, right? You make it neat, because, and I'm going to flash forward because I ain't going to ruin it for you, but he goes all the way back at the very end of his conversation. He says, so those other 9 things that you tried to accomplish didn't work out, but at least at the end of the day, you're coming home to a made, clean bed.
You can bounce quarters off my rack back in my day. My wife makes my bed now, so. But back in the day, you didn't bounce a quarter off it.
I'm sure there's some bouncing going on.
And there's some shit torn off, and you had to redo it.
Mike, I appreciate you being here. I appreciate you trying to push this. I see that we got, I don't know. I thought I'd seen 6, 8. Well, we got 8.
We got 8 watchers right now.
Right.
So
8 like us, Hurt. Imagine that.
Yep. Hit the share, hit the like. Thank you, Patriot Hour. Appreciate your help.
It ain't me that they're here for.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Let's get into something. I got a few notes. And
Let's get into it. I'm ready.
Talking about protesters and protest and how sad it is, how pathetic it is, and then King. I have a note here. It says King BS question mark. Trump never claimed to be a king. There's no proof of him saying that. This is just political. But here's my biggest. I guess this is my biggest point. I said I had 3 biggest points earlier. I keep saying I got big point. The next one's the biggest one. And here it is. If he was king, there'd be 0 protests.
Correct.
I mean, let's get down to that. Let's just split it down the middle. Let's get to the skinny. If he was king, if I was king, and you were throwing a protest in Chicago to say you can't be king, guess what? guillotine. I'm not going to lie. So the fact that you're bullshitting and saying, well, he thinks he's a king. Well, the king's allowing you to protest, which is very republic, right? Not
Yeah.
democracy, very republic, very constitutional of our blessed king. And if y'all want to keep calling him king, that's fine. You have zero proof. But the joke is guys like Hurt and I, Patriot Hour, and you're going to hear about that. By the way, Sheriff Mack's going to be on Friday in Patriot Hour, and I get blessed to be in the studio. And boy, I hope that Hurt Mack, whatever. But us conservatives are sitting there looking at this like we wish he was king. That's the joke. Right now, I'm not for kingship. You know what I mean? But if that's the reciprocal or the consequences of me being a conservative or a constitutionalist, I'm okay with Trump being king. And I'm going to be the first guy on multimedia saying, so what? He really isn't king. But if you're going to make me pretend, right? Because that's what we do in the transgender weird world is we're pretending that Trump's king. Well, I'm pretending that he is king because what he's doing, I want for the next 10, 20 years. And that's my biggest point.
Yeah.
They had no problem when Kamala Harris being installed like a toilet in the Democratic Party primary. No king rallies, nowhere to be found. Mike, I know y'all when you see Patriot Hour on our show pop up, that's Mike. They literally put Kamala as king of the Democratic Party to run against Trump. And my proof is none of you Democrats got to vote for her.
Nope. They didn't have no nothing. They just threw her in there, stuck her in, and said, "This is who your candidate is." You didn't have a say so in it.
So I call bullshit. But it again, you're hypocrites. But if your point is, well, Trump thinks he's a king and he is a king. Well, you know what? Right now, I'm okay.
Well, wait a minute. Go back to COVID. You don't wear a mask, you lose your job.
Right.
You don't wear your mask, you can't go out in public. Don't go see grandma.
So Mike, I know you're listening, and Hurt, this is a question for you too. I mean, hosts, co-hosts, partners, whatever. So during COVID, do you guys remember a letter being mailed to your home and you had to vote for, are you okay with this?
No, I never got that.
So who made the decisions for the rest of us, good people?
I can't say that on air.
Well, I know. Mike and I tried to say things like that on the air, and our studio got, and you all know the rest.
I got some choice words for that little sawed-off piece of trash.
But you're sitting there one day, and then COVID happens, and I was down where Hurt was at. Not that I was visiting him; I was just doing work. And COVID happened, and I was scared to death. I had a baby at home. I didn't know if I was going to make it home, right? Because we all thought COVID is like, oh, zombie apocalypse. But who made the decision for you and me? You have to wear a mask. You can't go to church, but you could go to the big box stores.
No. Don't even start that. You could not go to church, but you could hold protests.
Correct.
You could get in the biggest protest in the city. You have thousands of people and just protest your ass off.
So
I couldn't go to church.
Let's have that conversation. Anybody that has the balls, I'm glad you said it. I kind of set you up. You are, if you're on that side of the debate, what you're telling me, just me, I speak for me right now. I can't go to church, but I can go spend money at Walmart, or I could go on the streets of America and protest and burn down. You know why they didn't want people going to church? And here's why. People that go to church have hearts, souls, they have a purpose, they love, they care. And let's just be honest. We're educated, we have decent lives, we try to be moral. They didn't want us talking is the reason why we couldn't go to church. But you could go buy a ham at Walmart and bump into somebody that says F Democrats or F Republicans or what, because the agenda was keep like-minded people apart. why we F them over. And that's it. That's the truth. They didn't want people like you and me that knew this was a farce and bullshit to come together and talk and spread the word. They're testing us. The next test might be scary, but they're testing us. Get in line, take your shots. And if you don't, this is going to happen. And then you can't go true. They told us what we can and cannot do. And I'm sorry, but 70% of the population fell for it, hook, line, and sinker. I'm not telling you that COVID was the last deal. I'm telling you COVID was a test. Let's see how many stupid people listen to us. So, folks, when the government demands you to take a shot or tells you you can't go to church, you can't go to the bar, you can't do this, but mysteriously you're allowed to go to Walmart, you better hit the fucking brakes and say, well, if it's such a deadly disease, why am I allowed on an airplane?
Well, let me break. Well, they say the airplane has one of the best filtration systems.
Bullshit. I
You
got a million miles under my belt. Bullshit.
First, you got to wear a mask.
Right.
Well, you know what? Put one of those masks on, put some flour or something in your mouth and blow.
Yep.
Now, COVID's supposed to be these little microparticles.
Right.
Now, if you can blow flour through a damn mask, guess what? Those particles are gone. Then you got to get the COVID shot. Get the COVID shot, can't catch COVID no more. Wrong again. People catching COVID. Get the shot, you can't transmit COVID. Wrong answer, you still get it. I have never been vaccinated.
So
I don't know if I had COVID or not. I don't get it now.
So
I'm not going to put proteins in my body that don't belong there.
You should hold on. So Hurt's with me right now, and Patriot Hour is Mike, one of my best friends for many years. Hurt, you're absolutely right. If the government is telling you to do something, and then sign a contractual agreement with Pfizer, 75 years.
75 years before they can get sued.
You all, and those of you that switched, I'm grateful. I'm happy for you. I don't care, because if you took the shots, you're an idiot, and you did. But if you decided at that point, wait a minute, why can't they be sued? Well, because your instincts kick in. They created a virus, supposedly, kind of like AIDS, that only killed a certain sect of people, and I'm saying SECT. But they created this virus, and if you do as I say and get the shot, here's the kicker, folks. The next shot, because we know what shots you took, the next shot will kill you all. And they were real pissed when more than 70% of the population in this country said, F you, we're not taking the shot. And that is my biggest point. It's not that the first couple of shots were stupid or in vain. It was, if you let the United States government or somebody other than your doctor put a chemical in your body that they know they can counteract it with the next shot, right? Because this, you heard me say a little bit ago, COVID was just a test, right? How will the people get in line? If I now know that you have a chemical in your body that I put in your body, and I've developed this other chemical when I put it in the second time, maybe a year, 2, 4 from now, because I scare you again and you take it, then you die.
Well, how many people have had major malfunctions with this new vaccine?
Anybody that took all 4 shots. Anybody. 100% of all 4 shot people have complications. Mm-hmm. That's fact. That's fact.
I don't know. I don't know people. There are people getting killed in motorcycle accidents. They died of COVID. What did you say? No, I think that motorcycle accident killed them. Not the COVID, but that's what they were bringing down. My grandmother, bless her soul, 103.
Good Lord.
Had the flu. She died in a nursing home. Nobody could see her.
During COVID?
Yep, but it was COVID.
It wasn't COVID.
No, it wasn't COVID. So it's just like,
So I will tell everybody that's listening or will see this video later. It's not ironic that I've got two really good friends right now that I know. One right now is David in the studio. I call him Hurt, the Marine you're looking at, in the Patriot Hour, which is Mike, for those of you that know that. I lost my best friend right in front of Mike. Mike witnessed my best friend get in a terrible motorcycle crash. And he came to me and he said, "Hey, man," he came to the Lakeville American Legion, and he goes, "Hey, I was the guy. I was the guy. I was right there, and there's some lies going on." And Hurt knows this story, but I guess what I'm trying to say is with Mike and David and doing this show, and we're going to work as best we can with Patriot Hour and anybody else, any of you that want to come on as guests. This is so personal, but I wanted to let people know how I know Mike, how I know David. This is a show with two hosts and then a co-host, Mike, soon to be, that gives so much. We're willing to give up 5.5 years of shutdown, right, Mike? YouTube, Patriot Hour down. David knows all about this. And we kept fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting and fighting. And so anytime that David says, "I want to do a show," or anytime that Mike says, "I want to do a show," I'm going to do a show. And here's why. We got through COVID. And this is, I go full circle. My whole point of COVID. They tried to scare us. Some of us were real successful with subscribers. Mike and I, with Patriot, we had hundreds of thousands. And here we are again. This is ordained, and this should be a wake-up call to anybody that is watching this. When your government tells you take a shot tomorrow, instead of, "Hey, we're going to research this, take a shot next year, next 6 months," that's different, right? But when they're telling you do this, and if you don't get in line, they were just testing us and prepping us, see how stupid we were, and too many of you did exactly what they said, and that's why we are where we are now. Trump's a king. And if you can put all that together, it should make sense. But I do ramble, but I bring it all back to Trump's king. But your last governmental officials were telling you do this or else.
Well, we can change subjects. We can talk about some indictments that happened last week.
Mm.
You got any thoughts and suggestions on those?
I do, and you're not gonna like them, and I bet a majority of our listeners ain't gonna like them because here's
Why?
why.
Why?
Because impatient, ignorant individuals on both sides, mainly Trump supporters, and hey, listen, y'all, but y'all said too many times, "When's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen? When's it gonna happen?" We've been saying the Patriot Hour. We just said it a week or so ago. Indictments are happening, and David and I have been talking about it for a couple of weeks. Indictments are happening. You're up to 12 or 13 indictments that are prominent. 3 or 4 of those being high grade officials, and you have people on both sides. But y'all on the right, again, I'm a constitutionalist, and shame on you. Yeah, but what about the Epstein files? What about indictments? What about jail time? If you give the right people the right amount of time, the right evidence, you'll get what you want. STFU, right? Shut the. And I'm talking to the right more than I am the left right now, because the left don't care. They're like, "Oh, it's all bullshit." You got James Comey, right? You got Letitia James. You got the congressman out of North Carolina that had sex with a 13-year-old little girl. There's more and more coming, and y'all need to be patient. And what I love the most is our attorney general when she says, what do you want us to do? Hurry up and do a P." And this was an interview she gave, a P Diddy court case. And y'all heard me bitch about that. And baby, P. Diddy should have got 20, 30, 40, 50 years of life, right? If you want your government to hurry up and do something, first of all, that's your first mistake. They're the most incompetent people. I'm from the government. I'm here to help you. Bullshit, right? They're not going to hurry up and do shit. But you want them to hurry up. P. Diddy got off easy. So I'm hoping that this administration is taking their time. And when Pam Bondi tells me, you want me to hurry up, I can get this individual a year or two, maybe probation. But if you want me, let me loose and do my job.
Let her take her time and do it correctly. Do not rush stuff.
I
Let
will
them do
I
their
will
job correctly.
I will prove to a grand jury that this son of a bee or whatever deserves 20, 40, 50. So y'all calm the F down. Trump's in his first year, second term, and we got people that we're friends with hurt and on our party affiliates, right? The Constitutionalists, the Republicans. We need to see something happen. You're seeing it right now. You just don't want to see it and you don't think it's good enough. Well, I don't have an answer for you other than you're impatient and you're ignorant. If at the end of the
Let me
administration,
put an analogy to it. When you go fishing, you always want to catch that big one, right? You always want to catch the biggest fish in the lake, right? Well, how many little ones do you got to catch before you get the big fish?
couple small.
So let them start getting these small fries, and these small fries are going to crack.
Yep.
The more they pressure these small people, and then here's some more information. Here's some more information, and then you're working right up the chain of command. And you're going to see where it comes from. They're going to roll. They're going to roll.
So Mikey from the Patriot Hour, and bless you, man. I'm glad you're here to support us. I can't wait till we can learn how you can be on the show too, and vice versa. John Brennan and James Clapper on deck. You damn right. So they Trump wasn't doing nothing, and then indictment starts going, and Letitia and she's F's. I'm sorry, she ain't got a leg to stand on. I've seen enough proof and listened to enough professionals that said she broke the law. It's in right. And then you get Comey, right? There's some indictments. Everybody's wanting maybe Obama. They want, and I don't blame y'all, but I understand why I want Obama and the Clintons in jail. Of course, we all do. But look at the ladder effect. And I'm going to put my ladder effect. We're starting small, but these aren't small county employees or state employees. I'm saying it's so big that our smallest ones have been Comey and Letitia James. These are federal indictments, right? So how fast? Because we didn't start with little counties and little states and whatnot. We immediately started indicting and bringing to court federal employees and Obama and Biden's administration people. That's why I'm telling y'all, relax. We're indicting big.
Things are happening. Things are moving along. They're moving along at a great speed. Don't rush it.
Huge
Don't
speed.
rush it. Don't rush it.
Your next two probably will be Mike. I'm telling you, I agree. I think it'll be Clapper, and I think somebody said why Mike and I were on the Patriot Hour the other day. One of these people we indict is going to squeal. What?
Yep.
Well, duh. I think it will be Comey, but if you indict 5, 6, 7, 8 of these people and give them all the same.
I think it'll be Clapper because Clapper's already mentioned that the orders came down from above his head. Comey is such an arrogant bastard that he's not. He thinks he can win this. He thinks, I'm totally innocent. He's an arrogant bastard, and he's going to lose. He's going to figure it out.
Point that Mike brought up Clapper because we just talked about Clapper. Clapper will be the guy, like Clapper. He don't want his butt cheeks clapped. Clapper will be the guy. And Hurt, you're also right. Comey's so arrogant. He thought, well, I'm just one of 2 or 3 that's going to end up. No, there's a shit ton to come. Clapper is the type. If you look deep into his files and his career. Now, Comey was a Republican and turned on Trump and talked shit. And Democrats told you Comey can't be trusted while he was with Trump. Now that he's not with Trump, Democrats are telling you Comey's great. That's not the biggest type of person that you want to put on trial. The biggest one is a guy like Clapper that has shit to say and he is scared to death. Clapper will be your squirrel. I get, if it ain't Clapper, I'll give everybody watching right now $100.
Yep. And Mike, you're right. Prevent us from coming together, keeping the division. Me and Scott have talked about that since day one of this show. The government keeps us divided where we're going to stay like this. If we keep on listening to the bull that comes from the government, we're never going to come together as one.
Right.
Now, personally, it's our own fault that we're like this because we let the government get too big.
No.
Yeah.
We didn't.
The people did.
Correct.
And that's when I say we, the people, did. Yes, we did. And we should have been fighting this. I'm old enough. I should have been fighting this 40 years ago.
So you know what scares me? And this will be short. And because I really wanted to hear your reply to this because I thought about this morning after what I looked at last night. We might be late. This battle might be really tough, and our generations before us might have allowed this sort of thing. And I heard somebody I respect a whole lot say last night, I think that our predecessors let this go on for so long, we may not be able to come back from this. And that scares me to death.
I think we can. I don't think it'll ever get back to the way it was meant to be, but I think we can put some reins on this and hold it back. Look, we're $37 trillion in debt right now.
38.
What are we doing, folks? What are we doing? We're paying for shit we don't need to pay for. Trump says America first, let's take care of ourselves. Tariffs. Tariffs ain't going to be easy. Nobody ever said it was going to be easy.
Correct.
You're going to have to sit there and suffer until it all works out.
Hold on.
You know what?
Suffer if you're buying Chinese goods.
Correct.
That's
But at the same token, you can make that argument all you want, and this is where we're going to disagree. Where our manufacturing jobs go? Our manufacturing jobs are gone.
West and South. Yep.
So we got to bring them back before you can buy it made in the USA. Yes, there's stuff you can buy in the USA, but a lot of stuff is manufactured outside the United States. So let's get the businesses back in that Trump is doing and
Correct.
build it here, and then I can go for that a little bit more.
Well, this is why we don't disagree. You thought we were going to disagree, but Trump has a plan.
He does.
If and when like-minded people that I agree with say, well, we got a problem. I went to buy an American flag for my flagpole or a T-shirt or a hat. It's made in China. How do we fix it? Trump's trying to fix that. He's trying to say we've been being effed the last 30, 40 years with tariffs. All Trump has done, and this is the beautiful thing about tariffs, all Trump has done that pissed all these other countries off, and even some of these left-wingers in our own country, is said, all right, no president for 3 or 4 decades has enforced tariffs, which they did not. We've made almost nothing off of tariffs for 3, almost 4 decades. And I'll get into that later, maybe. All Trump said was, we're going to enforce the law. That's all he did. Tariffs do work. And what I tell Americans and people that argue with me, even on the right side, well, he's screwing us. No, it's your previous government that allowed China, Taiwan, blah, 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 go on, Mexico, to screw you. And by the way, you also bought those products, made those. So if Americans really want to know the problem, quit buying foreign. I tell people all the time, my next vehicle will be a Toyota Tundra, my whole fleet. All my business trucks and vans will be Toyota. Well, that's Japanese money. Well, kind of, but there's Toyotas being made here in Indiana. But UGM and Ford and Union, strong Detroit guys build a better product. You used to, and that's the point. We are the best. We just
Well, but we got set back on tariffs too. It wouldn't be so rough as it is right now. The tariffs that Trump made with China for the American farmers should have been still intact, but Biden didn't enforce it.
correct.
Now he's going back enforcing it, and it's getting it now. It's a little bit harder. So, but Trump's going to take care of our farmers. I don't have a doubt. Look what he did with the military. The military getting paid, ain't they?
My father-in-law, that Hurt knows, David knows, is a farmer. My wife comes from a farming family. He is not a loud, obnoxious man like me. He's very quiet, very patient. But after the Trump experience, the Obama experience, the Biden experience, COVID experience, fuck farmers. Let me tell you. Let me give you this little 30-second commercial. We can bail out banks. We can bail out the automotive industry, but we can't bail out farmers. And he said to me one night, and he goes, "Scott, say something about this." And I think I have. Mike might be able to back, but I don't know. I can't prove it. But his point was, oh, everybody says poor farmers, poor farm, poor farm. Y'all, we have to eat. And if you are on the side that is okay bailing out the automotive industry and the banking industry that Obama fucked up with, everybody deserves a house and we collapse, right? We all know that, right?
Hmm.
But when farmers are struggling because Congress and Senate and import taxes and tariffs and everything's fucked up, don't blame the farmer. You want to fight a farmer? Number one, you're going to lose because you city folks, you ain't tough enough. I guarantee, and God forgive me, I guarantee you don't have the balls, strength, fortitude, or the ability to carry out that mission. A country boy will whoop your ass. So my biggest point is you'll bail out banks and the car industry, but you won't bail out the one that's feeding you. You're a damn fool.
You're correct. You're correct. I ain't scared. What do you say? I ain't scared. I'm just waiting. I'm
What
just waiting to see what happens. Just
what, what do we always refer to her? Tombstone. We have two sayings. Well, I'll be your Huckleberry, and the other one,
Huckleberry.
bye.
Yes, sir.
Don't want that fight. I get look at the screen behind me. That's a mad, crazy, hunged over cow.
Yes, sir.
An AR-15 or an M4 or just a bolt action or a shotgun, a country boy rifle, like the Japanese said. Buying every blade of grass will be an American citizen with a gun. Well, that's what I'm telling you.
It's gonna be good.
Oh, I like Warner Brothers cartoon. I can't wait to wake up see what Yosemite Sam did. I can't wait to wake up tomorrow and see what Trump does.
Oh yeah.
I'm
Yep.
so happy I can't stand it.
So happy I can't stand it. This makes me just go crazy. Yes, sir. But no, things are gonna get better. They're gonna take time. It's gonna take time. You gotta have faith. That's the biggest thing. You gotta have faith.
If I could do it, and I'll do. I promise y'all, you're gonna get shit like this, and pardon my language, but Hurt just said something. My ADD went to gotta have faith. I would have put that up, and you would have heard that in the background. I think it was George Michael's
Yep.
hairy ass motherfucker, but he said, "Hey, Hurt said something about faith, faith.
You gotta
Gotta
have
have it. Gotta have it."
you don't have faith, you don't have nothing.
And for you Republicans and constitutionalists, and righties or just good, upstanding citizens quit asking, "What about the Epstein files? What about the Epstein files?" Number one, I guarantee Trump's not in those files, and anything not released is probably because the victims don't want to be named, right?
I'm going to debate you on this.
But I also believe her that CEOs, billionaires, and big politicians are on that list too.
Yes, but this is what I'm going to debate you on. Trump is on the Epstein list. He sure is. And there's dog groomers, there's bakers, there's little store owners that he visited. That's half the problem. Everybody who's on the Epstein list, people want to just rip their heads off and kill them. There's associates with this guy that have nothing to do with what people are wanting. And that's the problem. And for all you Democrats out there, don't tell me because Trump is president now that's why the Epstein list is getting replaced. Biden had it, Obama had it, and I damn well guarantee you if there was any shit on there that had Trump's name on it that they could pin him on, they would have pinned him on it. So don't give me no crap about all that. But my whole theory is there is a list, and I'm sure there is. And you're right. There's it goes from bottom to top. But there's innocent people on this list who are going to be targeted no matter what happens. And that's not fair to them.
So you just said something that I repeat over and over. This ain't new. Like her name slipping. What was her name? The Epstein's handler, the female. She's in prison.
Yes.
She was indicted and put in prison years ago. So when Hurt tells you that this shit is known by all presidents, all candidates, all party affiliates, he ain't lying. He's been in jail, which he was investigated even before that, and so was he. The problem is, we know that he was investigated, found guilty, put on house arrest, but he was supposed to be in county jail in Florida, and then every weekend he go back to his island. The biggest point I think that we're trying to make is this ain't Donald Trump Epstein files. This ain't Joe Biden's Epstein files. This ain't Obama's files. There are people in power that know that this is true. You got CEOs. I'm not saying Coca-Cola, but let's just say future top 500, right? Businesses. You got big CEOs. You got big politicians. You got big billionaires. And you got world fucking leaders that are on this list. I am not ever going to debate somebody and say, well, all the truth is out there. It's not. And it won't ever come out. And if Trump out, he'll be killed. Oh, wait. They tried twice.
Correct. You got any light out there, Scott?
I'm trying. It's dark. It's getting darker. I'm going to turn the light on. But think about that, what I just said. All that bullshit. Trump, now he'll be killed.
Yep. You're right. So
There we go. There's some light.
there you go. I can see your face again.
Sorry. Northern Indiana, man. It's almost winter.
That's right.
But think about all that, and that light's gonna flicker, and now you're really gonna be pissed. But it's not Trump's Epstein files. This shit is 20 years old, and
Yeah.
as they put her in prison, everybody went, "Oh my God, the truth's gonna come out." You know why? The fact that it hasn't come out is very obvious if you have a working brain. It ain't a Republican or Democrat thing. It's a
Half hour.
big power thing.
Exactly what it is.
You think so, right?
I know so, but I'm just my heart of hearts, and I'm pretty neutral on this because I don't care if you're Republican or Democrat. If you're at Epstein Island doing that shit to those kids, you need to be hung.
You need to die.
I'll personally castrate you. And I wouldn't even have a problem with it.
You're
But
right.
I don't think Trump had anything to do with it.
No.
They don't have no record of him being on the island. You know, I just.
How about this, man? Because we all admit that it goes all the way back to, I mean, Epstein's been around for 30, 40 years doing this shit. If, and this is what I tell the TikTokers and the idiots out there, really Epstein files. If Trump was negatively implicated, they would have used it.
No, he would have been burned already.
Exactly. And I would have voted against him.
Exactly.
That's the point. And these people are like, well, no, he got special treatment and new information about Epstein. Says who? You can't just come out and it's like these protests. Oh, he's a king. But says who? Well, I got no proof. Well, Trump's part of the Epstein files. Okay. Proof?
Don't have it.
Thank you. And that is the biggest point of tonight's show. There is no proof. There's never been no proof. And if there was proof, Trump wouldn't be your president because Biden, or actually Kamala, would have won. Why? Because the left would have used that information to show Trump as a child pedophile. But
And would have sank him.
I voted not for Harris, certainly not for Trump. I would have. I would have wrote my name in and called Hurt and go, hey man, and called Mike saying, hey, let's get 250,000 people to vote for me.
Yeah, right. Let's do it. Now,
if Trump's a child molester, fuck him. But he ain't.
I know that, and you know that, and that's what's so funny about it. That's what's so funny about it.
These damn protesters this whole weekend, I'm like, oh my God, man, you're somebody's kid, grandkid. You know, even the ones with dyed hair that don't even appreciate their grandparents or great grandparents. You know, there's some old ass people in some graves rolling over going, that's my kid. That's my grandkid. That's my great grand. This is embarrassing. The rest of the world is watching. Grow up.
Yep.
Go to work and vote and do what Mike and I do. Do what David and I do. You get your point across here. Go stand out in the street. You know why they do it in the cities? Because liberal mayors allow it. And I always say it, and we joke about it. My local Legion right here. We're on a state highway, by the way, state road 23 right here in North Liberty, Indiana. Come protest that bitch. You won't like it.
They won't. And you know, I'm pretty small towns I live, and you just don't see it. And if you do, it might be 5 people in the corner, and they put their heads down because don't start no shit, won't be no shit.
Correct.
I do not have a problem with people protesting.
Nope.
I wish everybody had the right to protest, but you're going to do it respectfully.
Sure.
You know, that was a big thing. Like we had a soldier who got killed overseas. This was years back. And remember that church group used to protest the funerals, American soldiers?
Yep. I'm a biker, so I know it because bikers.
Yeah, well, people kept me out of town that day on purpose.
Why?
Because I wasn't going to have none of that. I wasn't going to let that happen.
I wish that my mother, and my mother's 71, 2 or 3, I can't remember. Shame on me. But if I could convince her to come on the show and teach her, she would tell you her biggest fear is somebody burning a flag in front of me. And
that's me. Oh, yeah, that's not no.
I've said it, and if you're going to say it, you got to do it. But
I'll go to jail over it. I'll be going to jail with a smile on my face.
Prison over it. You do have, but I also have the right. Sorry for partying.
Can I say something on that though? Something that really is underneath my damn skin that pisses me hell off.
Co-host and a Marine, so you can say what you want.
how in the fuck, and I said it, I'm sorry, this is how aggravated I am. How the fuck can you burn an American flag in the United States of America, but if you burn the damn pride flag,
Mhm.
hate crime?
You ain't wrong.
Kiss my ass. Kiss my ass. That just fires my ass up, boy. I'm just telling you.
Play devil's advocate. Let me tell you, you ain't wrong, but we've been ostracized and enslaved, and but shut the F up. I am so sick. There ain't there probably are some white people in this world, but there ain't a large majority of people that have not been subject to black geological, biological, DNA, white, Arab, Chinese. Can we get to the point and just say we're all mutts? The problem is, y'all, most of you forget it ain't about race. It's about God's people, right? It's how you think. You're being judged on your daily life, how you uphold yourself. It has nothing to do with your skin. And these people that keep using skin, they're
Race card's over since Obama got elected.
oh my God. Race card for me was over the minute I was old enough to understand. I don't care what color you are. Are you a friend? Are you loyal?
Well,
You know what I mean?
there's still parts of this country where that's hard to understand.
But
But that goes back to my saying, everybody should go in the military. Everybody. Everybody should serve at least 2 years in the military.
I agree. 2 years.
Because it doesn't matter who's in that hole next to you, black, red, yellow, purple, brown, white, orange. They have your back.
I will
we all bleed red. We all bleed red. So let's
take 400
get rid of all that.
I'll take a 400-pound purple Marine in my foxhole any day of the week. What I won't take is a purple-haired 42-year-old man telling me that Trump is a king. I got a problem.
I can't tell you that's not part of the Marine Corps anymore. I think they're changing that, but I heard there was a couple of majors in skirts walking around in the Marine Corps. So I did.
Well, let's just say next week, next month, whatever. Man, who do you want? And maybe that's what we should do on this show is say that. And I'm gonna keep doing that on TikTokers too. You all say what you want. You don't like me. You don't like her. You don't like Marines. You don't like Patriots. You don't like. What do you want in your foxhole? An individual, and I'm not saying man or woman, but an individual that can handle that AR and drop somebody dead in their tracks from hurting you? Or do you want that person that wants to talk about, I have a penis, but I was born with a vagina, or I have a vagina, but I was born with... What the hell are we doing?
Well, I asked the same question when I was told that Camp Pendleton, California, they had Marine majors.
That was the reserve.
That had a dick and balls. That shit. No, that shit don't fly with me.
Hurt's right. We were
Oh my God.
on Pendleton. There was a Marine, and I'm not going to give his name up. He's been at my home. He's a good young man. But he said, sir, Mr. Philly, it ain't the active Marine commandant. It's the Marine Reserve commandant that actually has a penis and wears a skirt uniform. And me and Hurt went, what the? That's where we're at, y'all.
Ain't happening with me. It ain't happening with me.
Hurt and I we tried to leave that city. We did. We did leave that city, but you remember that?
It was close. It was close. We almost stayed for a while.
It's crazy late. And Hurt and I are sitting there with a decent woman. And I say decent because it was obvious that she didn't like what was going on. But this crazy woman was walking around and she's just getting in our faces. And then she got in this woman's face. I'm like, no, I'm 2,000 miles from home, but y'all know me. I'm gonna stay. And we giggled, and the cops came over and said, you know, she's a mental patient, and during COVID in California, she was in a home, but then COVID, they let her out and they won't put her back in. So she's just here every day and she's getting in people's faces. I said, she just got in that lady's face and threatened her, and I'm not going to stand for it.
No.
Be right. And we'll arrest her and she'll be right back here tomorrow because they have showers and toilets and people. And I'm telling you, and Hurt was standing, lady, oh, you screwed my husband when I was out working the farm. This lady was mental case crazy. And the cops told Hurt and I, there's not much we can do.
Nope.
And that realized we're really fucked because everything starts in California and then works its way across the map.
But if she would have put one hand on that lady, it would have broke all my rules in life. But I would have laid her out. I would have put her down. I would have put her down like a dead dog.
I do get it. You can't hit women, but I didn't see her as a woman. I seen her as, oh my God, she might have a razor blade in her pocket. And
she was crazy. She's just crazy. She's a crazy person.
Off the wall nuts.
And it's just like, yeah, I don't, you know me on that. You put a woman in front of me, you're in trouble. But that one, sorry.
The cops, nothing we can do about it. And
sorry,
I'm like,
partying.
Just arrest her.
Take them out of there. Yeah, go. See you later. But you know, it's just there's things you see that you never think you'd see. You know, and Scott knows I'm a hermit. I work and come home. I work and come home. That's what I am.
I told her. I told my son that. Now I out there and Hurt joined me as a guest because my son was being promoted, and my father-in-law and my wife went with me the first time he graduated, which is the coolest thing I've ever seen is Marines graduating. I salute every one of you sons of bitches. But my father-in-law, my wife, myself, my son now understands it. I won't say his name because he's still out there. I ain't going back to that state. And I've been out there dozens of times for work. But this last trip with Hurt, I encountered some things that I don't want to do again. I just don't want to see a man with a penis and a bra and boobs calling me crazy, wanting to take swings at me or somebody next to me. Because that ain't going to end well. Put my ass in jail and let that crazy motherfucker go.
Well, that purple-haired son of a bitch next to me in the foxhole would be jumping up. Hold on. I got my stress card. Hold on. Bitch, that don't count out here. But hold on. No, you don't get 5-minute break, bitch. They're fixing to shoot you. But hold on. No, it ain't fucking happening, I'm telling you. That's just, I'm sorry. That's the way it's going to fucking be. Oh, my God. Can you imagine that shit?
That should be our anchor point on this show. We should make a point every show to just somehow, I'm not a, whatever. But if we make a point every show, whether it's for 4, 2, or 8 seconds, who do you want in that foxhole? And we keep saying that. You know who American constitutionalists, people that love this country want in your foxhole? Guy like you. I do. I want you in my. But what do you want in that foxhole? So every time, my point is, every time you see this bullshit, these protests, CNN, whatever, I ain't got time for purple hair and ring noses through your nose. Hurt noses, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Shout out to Mike, Patriot Hour, General Flynn, and the boys. Tulsa was a great trip last year, wasn't it, Hurt?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Time for weak people. I let you hit me 38 fucking times and you still didn't drop me. So every show I'm going to say, you know what I want in my foxhole? Or Mike. Why are you laughing?
God, that was good, you said.
That dude hit me 38 times. I put my head around and told him, you done fucked up.
Yeah.
And that liberal son bitch was defending somebody with a nose ring. And all I said was, back where I come from, I just grab your hog nose and drag you around wherever I want. And I said, Did I not? I didn't mean anything by it. I was just being joking. And this fella assumed he could. The point is, I'm gonna share a foxhole with her, David, my brother, my cousin, my buddies, uh, any Marine, any day of the week. I am not sharing a foxhole. If you all gonna keep saying that he's a king and you want a revolution, I got two questions. What ammo are you using other than a dildo? And what principle and point do you stand on? You have none. You're not tougher than me and her. You're not tougher than our fellow followers. Not that they're following us, but you're not tough. Your hair's pink. You got a bone dog piercing through your nose. You're not tough. You don't know if you're a girl or a boy. You're not tough. And you hate Donald Trump because he said he's the king and you have no proof. You're not tough. So, again, stop. You don't do this because
No.
we do. We really. Let's do the laugh.
No, you go ahead and do the laugh. I'm still thinking 38 bumps on your head. You look like you had a bunch. Tell you what, people, you know what his head looked like? If he had many sticking out of him, he had stuck in him. He looked like a porcupine. That's what his head looked like next morning. It was just like
That song, he hit me hard and he hit me a lot. Your husband wouldn't go down, and my brother, mom.
Oh, his wife gonna kick my ass. She was, and tell you, I don't mess with Scott's wife.
That dude was so not scared. He was just he's like wiring. His eyes told me and her end up grabbing him. But after let's say the 20th or 30th, yeah, that guy's eyes are like, what the fuck? And for y'all that are watching, I do this. I mean, this is what I do. And I told her afterwards, and I told my wife and everybody else, as this guy's hitting me, his arms are going down. He's sweating down his forehead, and he's cranking. And he's blasting me. He is. He's doing a fine job. What he forgets is when I turn my hat around, and Hurt loves that part of the story because Hurt tells it great. Motherfucker hit me, blindsides me, and he goes, Scott turned his hat around and goes, you done fucked up. And for 20, 38 some punches, he did fuck up. I wouldn't go down. And that ain't not because of who I am. It's because of what I'm built of. Right. And I'll always go back to that. I know Hurt was like, what the hell? And my wife would tell you, beat me emotionally, religiously, physically. I'm coming back.
Oh yeah. It was a hell of a scene that night, folks, but
and we were
proud. Not to mention that I've only met him in person like 4 hours before all this went down.
Now it was 18 hours because the night before you showed up going beep, beep, beep. And I'm in
that was the same night. That was the same damn night I got there.
Okay, so I was diagnosed with a concussion 15 hours later. Okay, so
yes.
Hurt shows up being an arrogant Texan and look at Hurt. Boy, he come in going, whose hat is that? My hat was upside down on the table. He gave me all that bullshit. And within 4 or 5 hours, I'm getting dinged in the fucking head. And here's a Marine going, that just ain't right. I'm going to jump in. And Mike's still here. Mike did the same thing. We were down there meeting General Flynn and Clay Clark and going over how we're going to fix the future. And we just happened to go to the wrong bar and met the wrong guy, and he thought he could knock the shit out of me. But fella, if you're watching, Hurt and I was hoping that you type for a living or was a.
He wasn't using his hands for 2 weeks. His hands were broke time they got done with your head. But my man Scott would not go down. I was so impressed. I was impressed.
The only thing I heard is I'm being escorted through the casino because that was the next best place to go.
Yeah. Me and Mike took him to the casino. Didn't want him to sleep right away.
Kurt's asked me like, "How you feel?" I'm like, "It was bad."
It was bad. I don't know if it was you or Mike. That guy might be here. And then, oh hell, we were looking around. I was like, oh hell no, we're done. We're done for the night. Let's get his concussion looked at and get back to the room and go to bed for the next day. He had a long day the next day.
That next day was painful.
Yeah.
Couldn't even wear a hat. Hurt wakes up and he goes, "Let me see your head." Oh goddamn! He said,
Hell good. Hell good.
He goes, "Let's see your goddamn." But on that dude Clubber Lang me. He bounced me around, but
I'm telling you, folks, the guy was about 250. Punch came over here from left field. Punch came from right field. There was no straightforward. This shit was haymakers coming in the whole time.
The best part was my wife said the way Hurt said this all happened. I was paying my bill, right? I was checking out. And Hurt, you go ahead and tell that part of the story. But my wife says
he was paying his bill and he made a rude comment about the nose ring to the, I call him Bower Rowdy.
He said rude comment.
And this guy sitting at the bar should have been minding his own business. He's got broken hands over it now, but he stands up like, I'm about tired of listening to this shit. And we're looking like, all right, whatever. And then, oh, you think you're a Marine? Well, I had brought Scott a Marine hat that said "Proud Dad of U.S. Marine."
This is
the was so short he couldn't read the proud. He just seen the red. So Scott says, "No, I'm not a Marine."
No Baggins, motherfucker.
And then they kind of walked together, and I was fixing to get in the middle of them, and then that dumb son of a bitch sucker punched Scott right in the throat. Just, and I was just like, damn, I wasn't expecting that. So I just did my arms out to a 90 and backed up and fuck it. And then Scott just turns around and goes, he took a step back from that sucker punch. He turned his head and he said, fucked up now. And that was it. Boy, it was on from there. I was just like, hell yeah, let's go. It was good.
Well, Hurt's forgetting to tell you, he'll acknowledge this. I can't stand. I'm having so much fun. That dude fucking goes, "You don't look like no Marine to me." And I went, "Well, it's because you're a Frodo Baggins." My hat says "Proud Marine," and right down low it says "Dad."
Yeah.
So I tilt my hat down. You short, fat Frodo Baggins. Back cashier to pay my bill and whack.
Mm-hmm.
If I was 50 and I was full of piss and vinegar, that dude's lucky I wasn't 250 and smacked him because he didn't know what the fuck. Hurt will tell you, I literally stood back like he just did and turned my head around and went, "Well, now you fucked up."
Yep. It was over then.
I met the guy I'm on the show with right now. That's how David and I met. But David and I have been fishing together. We've traveled together. We're buddies. He's been to my home. He's a good man. I was scared to death about meeting him because Mike already knew me from Patriot Hour. And we're going down there to meet General Flynn. And here comes this proudful Texan. And he's funny. We're sitting in the hotel and I hear beep, 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 beep. Mm-hmm. And everybody from the Patriot Hour going, "That's my boy." And I never met him before. And he walked in and the first thing he said was, "Whose hat's that?" It was my Stetson. And I had it wrong said on. He's like, "That's not how you put." Like right away, as soon as I met him, he came in with big dick syndrome going, "Here's big dick daddy, and your hat's wrong, and you're wrong, and let's do it."
No, not a big dick, just being honest.
Well, I'm complimenting. But what I'm trying to tell the people is within 4 or 5 hours, hero. And he my savior. He stood right there and watched what was right and what was wrong. And folks, that's my point. David and Scott show. Point is, you do what you have to do. Say what you have to say, but do it with conviction. Mm-hmm. And that man stood right there with conviction going, and I don't know why he did it. I pride myself on this, but something told him I have to stand here and watch over this young man. Him being the old man, me being the young man. And because of him, I'm not dead. I'm not in Oklahoma prison. You know what I mean? I love him.
Yeah. I got values and I got morals. That's all I'll say.
I got scruples. That's what I call them. Scruples.
And I don't leave nobody behind.
Roger that. Mike, I want to thank you from the bottom of our heart. Appreciate you pushing this.
Yes, Mike.
I'm telling you, keep following David and Scott. Keep following the Patriot Hour. Real American, doing real American shit. Jail time, weekly, daily bullshit, family problem. Text in, call in. We got them too. And the man sitting to my left, as I look at it, David, he knows I got problems. He's got problems. Y'all got problems. Our problem is not government. Our problem is morale. So get some of that.
Yes. Let's stand united for once. You know, if we stood united, we'd shock the hell out of them. We'd shock a lot of people.
I
But
said, I said something the other day to a group of people. I said, you remember 9/11? And there was a lot of 20s and 30-year-olds in this room. It was at the Legion. I said, you know, when 9/11 happened, blacks, white, call them gooks, call them wops, call them whatever your racial profiling is. When 9/11 happened, we all loved each other. And I said to you young people that are 28 and younger, maybe even 32, 34, because it's been 20 some years, 24, 25 years, 25 years. You were too young, but you don't care. It's just like JFK. It's just like JFK. Well, we don't really care, but you should care.
you should.
Somebody killed JFK, and it's all bullshit. And 9/11 happened, and you guys don't care. If you had the truth today, the youth wouldn't even care. They'd be like, "Nah, I figured that." And that's my biggest problem. Is between JFK and 9/11 and all of them years between, those of us old enough know that there's corruption. And the youth is like, man, doesn't pertain to me. I wasn't born. I wasn't alive. I don't care. You should care. You should always care when a duly sitting president of the United States was assassinated by his own people or helped by his own people. And you should also care when 3,000 plus, or let's just say one or more, but 3,000 plus during 9/11, American citizens were killed by the help. I'm not a conspiracist to that point. I know that we were a part of it because Building 7 fell, and it shouldn't have. But stop thinking that you're taken care of. Nobody takes care of you better than you and or your neighbors.
That's it. That's it. Well, Scott, I think we covered a lot tonight. I think we're doing good. So,
Mikey, appreciate you. Hurt, David, co-host, but Hurt, I call him Hurt. Love it. Probably my top 2 favorite shows that you and I've done.
and we will get better and better and better as we go, folks. You got an
Probably,
old man trying to learn all this stuff. But Mikey
you want
gonna help me.
honesty?
Well, you left. He dropped. Ladies and gents, thank you for viewing tonight. God bless. Peace out. Hit the like and subscribe button. And we will see you next.